What is going down? What the fuck is going down? It is your boy, StudioMguyvR, and you are listening to StudioMguyvR's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast. If you're new to the podcast, welcome to the show. If you're into nerd culture, anime, and video games, then you've come to the right place because we talk about all of that shit here. Now, I want to let all my listeners know, please forgive me in advance if you hear any crying in the background. I have a small child. She has been acting up as of late, and they're very unpredictable if you know about babies. 10 months old, yeah, spoiled, all those things. So, yeah, I'll try my best to edit this the best way I can. I try to wait until the middle of the night to record my podcast so I don't have to deal with this most of the time, but sometimes you can't prevent that. So I'm just warning you guys ahead of time, and I apologize in advance. Now, this episode, which is podcast episode number 219, is going to be a fucking doozy. I told you guys last week I was going to be covering E3, and it's going to, drift into early next week. So we have the last couple of days, and then I'll be covering Monday and Tuesday of E3 on next week's podcast. So I've been looking into all of this shit, guys, and all I can tell you right now is that it has been a fucking whopper of a fucking E3. In a good thing. That's not a good thing, okay? It's basically a lot of misses. There was a lot of trash, conferences out here, and I'm not going to be mentioning every last thing that was, shown because it's a waste of breath for a lot of this stuff. But I am going to, tell you guys how I felt, what I picked up on, what I think you guys should be looking out for when it comes to the future of the games that are coming out for these current gen systems, because now PS4, Xbox One, they're considered last gen, even though 70% of us don't have one. But that's just another issue that we have to overcome, I guess, in the year 2021 and beyond, probably 2022 when everything is, back to normal. I do want to mention that E3 for next year is supposed to go back in effect. So apparently it's going to take place in Los Angeles. And this time next year, E3 is going to try. That goal that they're setting is they want everything to go back the way it was. In my opinion, it will never be the same. I think a lot of different companies are going to be doing kind of what they have done thus far as the pandemic and how they handle, giving us information on new games and things of that nature. Now, I think some of it will, of course, go back to E3, but everything will not be at E3 like it used to be, 5 years ago, where it was the be all end all and everybody was there. I kind of like it that way in a sense because everybody can't go to E3. So for those who can't go, we can still get the news. We can still get a lot of this stuff, sitting at home, and we don't have to worry about that. But I just thought I'd throw that out there to you guys. Also, before I get started, you guys need to check out www.StudioMaguyver.com. It's all things Studio MacGyver, guys. My handles, Twitter, all of my shit, Facebook pages, and more shit. You can even download music that I've worked on in the past for free. And then you can also support the show if you choose by basically buying a hoodie, a hat, a t-shirt, a coffee mug. All those things will definitely go towards helping out this show. So with that out of the way, let's get started. Man, a lot of shit to talk about. Okay, a lot of letdowns this fucking week, guys. And we got a couple more days left, and let's see what happens next. But I'm going to address a whole shit ton of things. I want to start off by talking about Square Enix. Okay, Square Enix is a company I fucking adore. Their games are epic most of the time. And, I was really looking forward to what they had to offer, what they had to show us. And I was very, very disappointed in finding out the things that I found out. Okay. There were a couple things that piqued my interest. I'm not going to lie, but a couple things, it didn't work out. And one of those things was no Final Fantasy 16. One of the major things that I was looking for personally was any information, any new footage, anything on Final Fantasy 16, and that did not happen. And you would think that Square Enix having a press conference and one of their biggest, most anticipated games, that they would give us some sort of information on that. And a lot of people are saying, Well, maybe Sony is holding that in their back pocket for whenever they do a state of play. But guess what, guys? There's no fucking news. There's nothing about state of play that we know is going to take place. We have no information on that. We don't know what the fuck is going to happen. We don't have any confirmation. We don't have a date, any of that. I just really think that they dropped the ball on this Final Fantasy 16 thing. And keep in mind, remember, they said that this game was coming out 2021, and I told you guys, if they don't mention anything at E3 about this game, you can pretty much go ahead and chalk it up as it is not coming out in 2021. Now, remember I said that, and I'm saying it again. So when we come down and we get this new information and news, I'm going to be definitely talking about it again, because I called it. I mean, I told you guys that all these other games, like the God of War Ragnarok, I told you guys to be wary, and lo and behold, guess what? We're not getting it this year. Okay, and then to make other people upset, they're doing cross-platforming. So you're gonna get PS4 and you're gonna get PS5. So they're doing that with a lot of games, and if they're smart, they would have done that. Look, as much as we love these games and we adore a lot of these titles, man, it's a business, and all of these people are trying to make money. Is that a detriment to the company, to the I guess the culture, if you will? Yes, in a lot of instances it is, in my opinion. I mean, they, for companies trying to chase that dollar, a lot of gamers and a lot of fans end up suffering because of that. Because basically, it's like, what's the popular thing to do? The popular thing are, first-person shooters, and I'm so fucking sick of first-person shooters, guys. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And then on top of all of that, most of them now are becoming, paid services. That's pretty much what they are. Anything with multiplayer in it, usually, and it's a fucking shooter, first person, you can pretty much count on it being a fucking paid service type of game. What are my issues with paid service games? A few of them, actually. One in particular is they fucking cash grab. Okay? And they cash grab for a lot of shit that doesn't fucking make sense to me. One of the things that makes the least amount of sense to me about these first-person games, these first-person shooters, are cosmetics. And there's people out there who are literally buying these cosmetics, which I don't understand. It makes no sense. You can't even see what you're buying. So you want to spend all this money on these boots and this jacket and all these goggles and whatever the fuck else, but you can't even fucking see it unless you hit the pause screen. And how often do you do that in these type of games? Very rarely. Okay, so I guess just selling you the idea of, in your mind, you have those goggles on. I just can't get behind that. You know what I mean? If I can't see my character wearing or the drip and exposing the swag, myself, then I don't know. That's just me, though. Hey, maybe I'm just getting old. Maybe I'm just one of those guys who just feels that way. And maybe there are not a lot of you guys out there, but I stick to my guns. And if I don't like something, man, I just don't. A lot of people love these first person, these shooters. And that's fine too. If that's your preference, if that's what you are, and then you love the Call of Duty and you love all these other games, hey, more power to you. Apex Legends, all those things. I mean, enjoy yourself, but that's not for me. And it just seems like every time I turn a corner, I'm seeing more and more of these fucking games, and they're drowning because, it's a cash grab. You know what I mean? And then 5 years from now, these games aren't even existing. They're a fucking coaster. That's all they are. You know what I mean? Once the server goes down, or if they create the game and if it's not taking off like they thought and they're starting to hemorrhage money, they can just pull the plug on that shit. So your $70, your $60 are gone, and you have nothing to show for it. Just a fucking digital memory. Okay? That's really another issue that I have with those type of games. They don't age very well. When they're done, a lot of them are unplayable anymore. Once the server goes down, it's a wrap. You know what I mean? And I don't know if that has anything to do with just being a lover of single player experiences, but I guess that's because I came up that way. I grew up with all the older systems, and that's before all the internet really was smacking and all of that. And I just enjoyed that. Plus, me being an introvert, I don't know, maybe that has a little something to do with it. I do like playing with some of my friends, and we do have hella great times on certain titles. You know what I mean? But it's not for every game. Like, every game should not be that way. And I won't even say every game. Maybe I'm exaggerating. I'll say, half the games should not be that way. It just seems like everybody's pushing you to go online, and they're pushing games to have, online connectivity, or else they won't be of any use. It's just the internet this, internet that, man. The internet does go out sometimes. The internet does give you inconveniences sometimes. And then, like I said, if a game doesn't work out, and if you love that game, guess what? You spent your money on a dream. You got a little bit of time with it, and then it's it. It's a wrap. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that go into how I feel about these type of games, and that's just a side tangent I just felt like talking about. But we're talking about Square Enix right now, and they just let me fucking down. And I'm not the only one here. A lot of people were looking for any information on Final Fantasy 16. And one thing I hate about a lot of these conferences is the fact that they think that they can appease us with a fucking CGI trailer. No gameplay. I mean, 70% of these games have no fucking gameplay videos to them. I'd even go to say 80%. Okay, we get these CGI fucking trailers, and then we get a release date of next year, 2022. That's it. Is that supposed to whet my beak? Is that supposed to get me excited? I mean, in a sense, very little, and you have to do a lot just to get that. But people want to see gameplay. People want to know what the game is going to look like. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. It's very, very strange. And no Final Fantasy 16 just kind of broke my heart. Now, they did show Guardians of the Galaxy, and in my opinion, that game looked weak as fuck, guys. I'm sorry. It's slated for October 26th, 2021 this year, if you guys are interested. But it just seemed very corny, and the voice actors, they're not even the actors of the MCU. It's just very, I can't describe it. You have to see it for yourself. If you haven't seen the trailer, check it out. There's a little gameplay in there as well, and it's just not my cup of tea. I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy is my probably least favorite entity from Marvel anyway. Maybe I'm biased towards that, but I mean, even then, it just to me didn't seem like a very good game, at least from what I saw. You guys be the judge. You guys check it out if you want, and let me know. But it just seemed like a shitty press conference. And then they also announced Marvel Avengers, which I thought that game was fucking dead in the water. But apparently not, guys, because they announced another DLC coming, another expansion, if you will. And that's the War on Wakanda, which looked okay. I mean, I'll give it that. But I don't know. I think most players are done with that franchise, are done with that game. And them trying to add new things to it, could possibly help, I guess. But, I mean, I don't know. You guys be the judge of that. I just think that game is dead in the water. And I'll leave it at that. Moving on, another game, a game I was actually looking forward to. I have to tone down my expectations, I think, now, and I'm talking about Babylon's Fall. Now, this was a game that is basically being developed by one of my favorite devs, and that is Platinum Games. And I love Platinum Games. If you don't know, if you're new to the show, I love those guys, one of my favorite dev companies. But, I got kind of... I got a little upset, man, when I heard a little bit more information on the game. First of all, the game didn't look, they showed a little gameplay, a little bit more. The gameplay just it wasn't hitting for me. It just didn't look like a Platinum game. Maybe, they still have a lot to go on. I mean, yeah, the game is still a little ways away. I know it's not coming out this year, but I just felt like it needed more. And then I learned that it's going to be online co-op, up to 4 players. And it's going to be paid service. Okay, so they're going to be supporting the game for the foreseeable future, and that right there really turned me off on that. When they said paid service, I said, "Oh shit." Yeah. So they're claiming that there's going to be a lot more after you beat the game or whatever. But I don't know. I mean, they still have some things that excite me about the game as far as the writing is concerned, because one of the writers from Nier Automata is going to be, working on this game. So I'm gonna give him a chance until it comes out and I actually have a chance to get my hands on it before I make a judgment. And that's because I love Platinum Games so much. So I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt, and I'm trying to see, because I do not like the fucking paid service thing. I just despise those games because there's microtransactions. There's all kinds of other shit that I just don't like after you pay the full game, the full price. Now, if it was like a free to play, that's a different story. but we're talking about it a fully paid for game. You know what I mean? That's the issue I'm having right here. And then I still need to know, is it going to be able to be played offline? You know, I don't still know the ins and outs of all that, because once the servers do go down and say you fall in love with this game and becomes one of your favorites, if you want to pick it up and play it another time, will that be possible? So there's still a couple of questions I need answers to, and when I get those answers, I will definitely keep you guys posted. But here's the game that I was really looking forward to and trying to find out about, and it's not looking good. It's basically fumbling out of the fucking gate. And the game I'm talking about is Stranger in Paradise Final Fantasy Origins. Now, you know, anybody who's into Final Fantasy would probably, you know, be salivating at the mouth for this game, especially when the news came out that it is going to be developed by Team Ninja. And Team Ninja is also a dope company as far as their combat is concerned. Neo 2, the Neo franchise is fucking awesome. They were responsible for that. They were also responsible for one of my favorite games, on my top 20 all-time games, which is Ninja Gaiden. I love that franchise. And they're a really dope development team when it comes to their fighting games. You know, the Dead or Alive series, all of that. So when I heard this, the mergence, when they merged, they're going to merge these two together, I got excited. And then the trailer came out. And when the trailer came out, I threw up a little bit in my mouth, just a little bit, because I don't know, man. The graphics look very subpar. Now you got to keep in mind, this is not the same developer as the Final Fantasy remakes. Okay, that's one thing. But when you think, you know, Square Enix, you just have to, you're thinking that, okay, they're going to have pristine graphics. They're going to make sure that that's cool. The graphics are really, really mediocre, number one. Number two, the character design on these guys, it's all over the fucking place, okay? The main protagonist looks like, I don't know, it just looks like he doesn't belong in that universe. And then, like, there's a couple other guys they showed. One was like a black dude with dreads, and he looked, I don't know, man, it just looked funky. It didn't look right. It just seemed off to me. And I don't know, man. I just really I'm very concerned about this game. I'm very concerned. And what makes me even more concerned about that, or this game, shall I say, is the fact that they announced a demo. Okay, now the game is slated for 2022. There's nothing else, no other information about that. We just know 2022, so that could be fucking the end of 2022. Who knows? But they did put out a demo, and it's already out. Now, I said their demo coming soon. They said demo coming soon, but I thought soon would be like, you know, in the coming months. But I was like, oh, the demo's out? They must really be confident in this title if the demo is already out. But the demo is fucking, it's not even working, okay? It's corrupted. Basically, if you have a PS5 and you try to go and get this demo and download it and play it, there's no way you can play it. It says it's corrupted. It tells you to basically delete it and re-download it again. Once people try that, same results. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't know how you fuck up a demo being put out. I mean, nobody tested that. Apparently they did not. And that's not a good thing, man. That's not. How do you fuck up a demo of something so huge? It's beyond me. And that's where we are right now with that game. So I'll definitely be covering it. I'll keep you guys posted, you know, if anything else develops. But yeah, it wasn't a good look for Square Enix, man. It really wasn't. And I'm just so mad about the Final Fantasy 16. I keep saying it, but god damn it, man. I mean, have some fucking respect for your audience, okay? They know the big macaroni is Final Fantasy 16, and yet you do not mention it, okay? And there's no release date in sight. 2021 was the only information we have up to this point, guys. It's just, I'll tell you right now, just please, just accept it. It's not coming out in 2021. Please accept it. Believe me, I really want to play this game, and I would love to see it come out, but it's just not going to, I don't think, man. Okay? There's just too many issues right now, and they don't want to admit it right now, but I'm telling you that they don't want to put that out right now. There's no way you want to put that on 2021, guys. I mean, we're still struggling to get these systems in, and we don't know when that's gonna subside. So, unless they want to, unless they're making a Final Fantasy 16 for the PS4, which I highly doubt on this occasion, they're going to be hurting. And even if they did, they'd still be hurting. It's a lose-lose situation. You're going to have people bitching about the fact that it's going to be made for the PS4 if it does happen, but then you're also going to have people bitching about, them lying about the release date and all of that. Okay? So that's where we are on that. I'm telling you guys, man, it's just a fucked up time in the gaming world right now. If you look at the whole E3 right now up to this point, I mean, with the exception of Nintendo and Capcom and those guys, like I said, I'll cover them later. But it's a strange time because none of these games that they showed, for the most part, nothing's really still coming out. I mean, there's some things starting to drip a little bit, but it's still a little ways off, man. Most of the games they showed were like 2022. Okay, it's just, and then they're showing like other things of other titles that are already out. DLCs and other things, expansions and stuff like that, and that's it. I mean, and then we get looks at some of these other games. Like, if I'd known Babylon's Fall was going to be a paid service game, I mean, that right there really hurt. That was definitely a blow right there. It just hurts because Platinum Games is working on it, and I love pretty much everything they do, and man, it just sucks to hear that. And then the Final Fantasy game, I mean, they're just tripping all over themselves right now, man. Who knows when this will be fixed? I'm sure they're working on this because they do not want to become a meme, which they already pretty much have. If you watch the trailer, you'll know. And, I'll leave it at that. I'm not even going to say anything about the trailer. Just watch the trailer, okay? But that's Square Enix, man. That's all they fucking really had. Now, there was something that I am looking forward to playing, and I stumbled upon this. They literally showed this game for like 3 seconds. Okay. And I was like, what the fuck is that? And it was called Neo, The World Ends With You. It's an RPG. It's a Square Enix game. It's coming up right around the corner. I mean, it's July 27th is when it's coming out this year. And they didn't show us anything on that. They showed a quick 3-second clip. And I had to figure out what the fuck that was. And then I had to go in the comments and find out. And then it's coming out for the Switch. It's coming out for the PS4. I think it's coming out for Microsoft Windows as well. But yeah, I mean, they mentioned nothing about this game, a game that's coming out really soon. I just think that whoever put this shit together didn't do a very good job, in my opinion, man. I mean, you think the way that they set it up it seemed like they were just putting on a show for some children, and they didn't think that anybody would catch this stuff or mention it. I don't know. Maybe they did. Maybe they just said, fuck it, they don't care. I have no idea, guys. I don't know why they make a lot of the decisions that they make. A lot of these conferences show TV shows and other shit unrelated to the games that this is about. This is about gaming, and they do everything else but that. And then when they do show us something about the game, it's a CGI fucking trailer. It's a fucking CGI trailer with no real gameplay, and then a lot of this has no real release dates in sight. So I feel some type of way about it, and I'm a little bit hurt. I am. That's where we are. I mean, there's really no bright spot on Square Enix right now, in my opinion. So I'm going to move on to Ubisoft. I'm going to go to Ubisoft, which was also pretty trash, if I'm being honest, guys. There were a couple different things here that kind of made me look up, but nothing that, went any further than that. I'm going to tell you my beef with Ubisoft in Two Shakes of a Lamb's Tail. But first, I want to talk about games that they did show, and they didn't show a lot. The only game that I was really somewhat interested in is the Rainbow Six Extraction, which comes out in October 16th to be exact. So that game I'm a little bit interested in. I used to love the Rainbow Six, franchise. One of my favorite Rainbow Six games of all time is Rainbow Six Vegas 2. Rainbow Six Vegas 2, yeah. That is my shit. I still fuck with that game from time to time. Had it for the Xbox 360, and I have it for the PS3. Love that fucking game. But, I'm interested in that. I'm kind of, like I said, I don't play a lot of fucking, first-person games, but this one I will give a whirl. I will definitely check it out and try it. you know. But another game they showed was a game called Riders Republic. I got excited at first when I saw, the preview because I was like, oh, is this another SS Tricky game? No, it's not. Um, it's in the same kind of, I guess, universe, but they do a lot more. In other words, there's bike racing, there's there are snowboarding, but there's also like wind gliding and all this other crazy shit. It's an online game, of course. This one is online, so like I said, guys, trash. I just can't get behind that. These are games that I would buy for like, in the bargain bin for like 10, $15. And even then, by that time, the servers might be dead. You know what I mean? So you might not even get a chance to even play that. If they have an offline mode, maybe. But I don't know, man. This is what they showed. It was trash to me. That's just how I feel about it. And then, they came with the Far Cry. They showed us the Far Cry trailer, of course. That game looks decent. I love the Far Cry franchise. But, one cool thing they did was at the end they showed something about a DLC or a season pass. I'm not sure which one it is, but they, for some reason, all of the antagonists of all the games were there. And they woke up in a strange place, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Still don't know. That's all the information we got on it. But they did mention Blood Dragon, which is my favorite Far Cry game of all time. If you guys haven't played Blood Dragon, it was a DLC from Far Cry 3. I still have that game on my PS3. I don't know what they're going to do. Are they going to change anything to it? Maybe they add some things to it. I don't know. I'm interested. But that is my shit. Hopefully they add some new things to it. If you haven't played Blood Dragon and you're into like the Far Cry series, definitely you might want to check this one out. I mean, they definitely killed it. That 80s vibe, that synth wave music, you know what I mean? Those old 80s VHS tape type movies, when the protagonist is like this cyborg / human type of character who has these dope ass one-liners and futuristic weapons and shit like that. Excellent. Shooting dinosaurs, fucking up. I mean, it's just a crazy game, and I fucking loved it. But anyway, that was really the only thing that got me excited in slightly, because I already own the game. So unless they're adding anything else to it or upgrading it, then, it's no reason for me to buy it again because I already have it technically. So, and I mean, that's pretty much it, man. Ubisoft. I mean, there were a couple other things that they showed. There was like a guitar simulator, I guess, if you will. It's basically like there used to be a guitar simulator in the sense where if you had a guitar, it would basically teach you how to play it. I forgot the fucking name because I actually have it, but I can't think of it right now, guys. It was pretty awesome, but this one here is a paid service, so a paid subscription. Let me get that right. When I heard that, I said, "Oh, I'm done. I'm not even going to entertain it." A lot of people are trying to adopt this new wave, which is that. I mean, if you go into programs and stuff like that, same thing. Like I'm trying to, when I edit my videos, or maybe I want to make a new beat or something like that, and there's a virtual instrument I want to use. They'll say, "Oh yeah, you can pay, $19 a month and you can just use it whenever." No, motherfucker, I'm not doing that. Okay, you either give me a price, let me buy it so I can have it, and just move on, and that's it. I mean, all this bullshit, everybody trying to capitalize on the fucking net in these weak ass ways. It rubs me the wrong way, and I hate it. I really do. Just another way to fucking money gouge from somebody, man. You know what I mean? I'm used to buying a product and owning that product, man. So don't fucking bird feed me. I don't want that. That's just how I feel. It's got me very tight, very fucking upset, man. The butter is on the table and it's very, very fucking warm right now, guys. Okay, and I don't want any part of that warm butter. All right, but right now it seems like I can't help it. I mean, these motherfuckers are tying me up. I mean, they've got sake filled to the fucking brim. They've got endo sticks on deck. They're ready to light them and smoke them and then do strange things to my person into the night. And I don't want that to happen. But right now it feels like I have no escape. I feel like I don't have anywhere to fucking run. And it's really pissing me off. It's really pissing me off, guys. I don't know. I just feel some type of way about this. And this whole E3 fiasco is just, it's got me like basically saying to myself, well, hey, I'm not so upset that I don't have any fucking current gen systems now. I'm not really that upset. You know what I mean? And the one thing missing from Ubisoft, I think that a lot of people, you can't walk away from, is the fucking no Splinter Cell. There's no fucking Splinter Cell. And where is Splinter Cell, man? Like the last Splinter Cell game was what? Splinter Cell Blacklist, which was an excellent game, if I do say so myself, for the PlayStation 3, which I have it on. But god damn it, man, can we get a HD version or something? Give us something, man. But we're not getting it. I haven't seen anything. They're not mentioning it, guys. I mean, they have these companies have so many opportunities to give us what we want, give us what we need, and I just feel like they just drop the ball all the time. And it makes me believe, and it makes me wonder, the people who are making the decisions at the top, who are these people? Are they really gamers? What the fuck is going on? Because it feels like they're just drawing shit, with stubby crayons, and they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They just don't know. They don't know what the people want. You know what I mean? And that's just my opinion. I just feel some type of way about it. Anyway, let's go on and move on to fucking Microsoft. Microsoft, they actually did okay. They did okay. I have to say, that I'm actually pretty proud of Microsoft. All right. Now, they named 30 games. 30 games were showcased. I'm not going to name them all because a lot of them were, not my cup of tea, but they did showcase 30 games. Out of those 30 games, there were 27 of them coming to the Game Pass. There are 27 out of that 30 that are coming to the Game Pass. It's making the Game Pass look really fucking tasty. Really good. Now, I did take a look at Halo Infinite. They had a clip, I guess, if you will. Not any gameplay. They just had the trailer. But I am very interested in playing Halo Infinite. And of course, online is going to be free for Game Pass. So everybody gets treated to that just for having an Xbox. But the main thing that everybody was talking about, which I don't understand why, was the Starfield trailer. Okay, everybody was waiting on this game, Starfield. When is it coming out? What's going on with it? All of this shit. And, we get a fucking trailer, a CGI trailer, a simple, quick one, and that's all we get. And then they gave a release date. At least they did that. You know what I mean? They tried to offset a little bit with the release date, which is 11/11/2022. So you might as well just say 2023. I mean, 1 month away. Okay, 2023. Really, 2 months away. It's tail end of the year. So I'm just going to go ahead and say damn near 2023, guys. So nowhere soon. We're not getting this game for easily a year and a half. So just deal with that. Now, what pisses me off is, man, no gameplay? Like, no gameplay. You guys just have this trailer and that's it. No gameplay. Why would he even show that? Why don't you just tell us from your lips, hey, Starfield's coming 2022, 11/11. Do that. Okay? That's almost better than doing what they did with that. That's just my opinion. Look, I'm touched. I'm a little tight, but it's all good. But, other than that, let's move on down the line. And there's a game called Replaced. Now, this is not a AAA game. Okay, this is a AA or an indie studio, but the game looks fucking breathtaking. It's slated for 2022. Do not know any more about it, but it's like a cyberpunk pixel art adventure. Those are, I really like the pixel art type of games, but the way that they did this, man, this shit looks fucking amazing. All I can say is just check it out. It's called Replaced, and just check it out. I mean, it looks breathtaking for what it is. But that one did spike my interest. Another one was called Contraband. Now, this is another example that I was talking about, how they show these fucking trailers, and then that's it. And that's all this was. Everybody was like, Contraband. I'm like, okay, what the fuck is it? What is it? They showed a quick trailer of a camera scanning a fucking room, okay, which looked to be some sort of plan for a robbery or some sort of heist. And then it just goes to the name Contraband, and that's it. No release date, no information, no gameplay, none of that. And that, in my opinion, is a waste of fucking time. If that's all you have to show, why even bring that shit up? Why even mention that? Why even do that? It doesn't it doesn't mean a fucking thing. I could understand if it's like a if it's a franchise that we all know and love, you know, and I can see people getting excited for that. But for something that's new that they're just trying to present to us, and this is what you do, this is what you show us. We know nothing about this franchise. It's brand new, and we're supposed to get excited for that. How do we get excited for something we don't fucking know anything about? It doesn't make any sense. But hey, like I said, I'm not the one drinking sake, you know, in the boardrooms. I'm not the one, you know, smoking on endo sticks, making these bad decisions. There's somebody up there who is. There's somebody up there who doesn't play video games, doesn't know what the fuck they're doing, and they have a suit and tie on, and they're basically whipping their dick out and, you know, making bad decisions. That's it. That's the only thing I can adjust. That's the only thing I can see them doing. Other than that, it doesn't make any sense. But hey, it is what it is, right? Now, they did announce the Outer Worlds 2, which is coming, but there's no other info on it. I just know they're working on it. It's in early stages, and it's going to be free on the Game Pass. So if you got the Game Pass, hey, no worries. Hopefully they make the other one bigger. It was okay. I did play the first one, and it was okay, but you know, it could have been bigger. It seemed like it was missing something, and a lot of people felt that same way, and they didn't gravitate towards it. I had a couple of friends who didn't really, who thought differently of it, you know, who thought it was going to be one thing, and it ended up not being that. And you know, I definitely understand what they meant by that. But moving on to the next next game is a game called Redfall. This one really piques my interest. This is probably the game that I'm most excited about, honestly. And this is all we got was a CGI trailer. Keep in mind, another CGI trailer, which looked good, but I just really want to see the gameplay, because I don't know if it's third person. I don't know if it's first person. I'm guessing it's going to be a first person, but I hope it's third. But I probably will lose that battle, because like I said, motherfuckers just are genetically predisposed to making first person shooters. Okay. If you got a gun, motherfucker, you're going to be first person. It's just, I guess it's just what it is until we can get over that. I would just love for companies to at least give us the option. You know what I mean? Take that extra step and give us that option to go in and out. You know what I mean? And we're talking about Obsidian here. We're talking about companies like that who, you know, are familiar with those type of games, and they used to give us that. They used to give us that choice. You know what I mean? Well, we could have, you know, third person, or we could have first, but all of a sudden they got lazy and they said, fuck it, fuck third person, we're out. I mean, please, can we get both? I mean, can we please get both? There's a lot of us out here who still like third person. Okay, please. Oh, I don't know. Maybe I'm just wasting my fucking breath. But anyway, Redfall looks to be pretty dope. It's an open world shooter from the devs of Dishonored and Prey. A lot of Dishonored fans out there, I know, and a lot of Prey fans actually that I've heard about or heard from as of late. So this is slated for the summer of 2022. So it's still a whole nother fucking year to go. But I would definitely be interested in seeing some gameplay on this game here. You're fighting like vampires, and it's like they're taking over the world, and it looks pretty good, man. It looks like it could be fun. Okay. But like I said before, I'll know more when we know more. And that's all we have right now. But that's one that I am excited for. And that's about it. Xbox, on the other hand, let's talk about them real quick. They are actually getting into the smart TV realm, though. Pretty soon, Xbox is going to be, you know, they're going to have a streaming stick for cloud gaming. And a lot of the TVs coming out will actually have the smart TV app, which is crazy, which I knew was coming, was on the way. And that's how Xbox is winning. That's how they're fucking winning, because they just want motherfuckers playing. That they just want people playing their game. They don't give a fuck where. If you got your phone, you got an app. If you got your fucking TV, it's on the TV. Or if you want like a Fire Stick or some shit, just go get you an Xbox stick, man, and pay that little money, and boom, you got your gaming, you know? So they're going to get those casual gamers in here, man. And hey, I can't hate them for that. That's just their cup of tea. That's what they're doing, and more power to them for it, you know? I just would love to see some more first-party games. But I told you guys, you're not going to see these games until at least another couple years into the life cycle of these systems, especially Microsoft, because they're just now acquiring all of these fucking studios, and it takes, you know, the average time to make a AAA game, you're looking at anywhere from 4 to 6 years, depending on what kind of type of game you're trying to do. And that's just really 3 to 6 years. For a AAA, depending on how big the studio is and how many resources and stuff you have at your disposal. So, but yeah, we're talking about all that. So, like I said, it's gonna be some time before we start seeing these come out. But like I said, if you're like me and you don't have a system yet, I mean, look, it's really no rush, guys. It's really no fucking rush right now to get one. And if you did get one now, I'm telling you, I would go Xbox. I would go Xbox now just for the Game Pass, especially but if you already have an Xbox, I wouldn't worry. I would just wait. I really would. It's no rush to get it. But if you stumble upon one, you run into one, hey, there's a system, here's an Xbox here, I could get it right now. Yeah, go ahead and do that. It's just basically going to upgrade your current system, and then, you have the Game Pass, and then when stuff does start to trickle out, I mean, you'll have it. You know what I mean? And that's it. That's where we're at right now. There's no real big rush to even play that shit. I mean, and I'm kind of relieved on that, but at the same time, I'm like, man, where are the games? But I feel better about not being able to find one, because it's just, what am I going to do with it once I find it? What am I going to play once I find it? Okay, I'm not going to be playing Demon Souls. Well, I would, but it's not a game that is a system seller for me. Definitely Ratchet & Clank is not my stilo. I know it's a good game, but it's not my type of game. Not for me. In other words, it wouldn't make me want to buy a PlayStation 5. Okay, so those aren't it for me. Like I told you, my three are you guys already know: Final Fantasy 16, God of War Ragnarok, and Horizon Zero Dawn Forbidden West. Those are the three right there for me. And we're not getting any of those three, okay, this year. Okay? We got one guarantee not coming. Okay? Forbidden West has stated that they're going to try their best to get it out, which will not happen. And then we have Final Fantasy 16 that wasn't even mentioned, okay, this summer, in the middle of the year, which is a game that's supposed to come out in 2021. We have no new information. We have no gameplay. We have nothing on this game. That game is not coming out this year, guys. Okay? So just get ready for that, because that's what's going to happen. And I'm just trying to tell you now ahead of time. For the people who don't have the system, though, hey, rest assured, you don't have to worry. You can take your time. You can wait till they finally got these PlayStation 5s back into rotation, back out here in these video game streets, and we can pick them up like regular people, like going to your local store and getting them, instead of playing hopscotch and jumping through fire to get it online. Okay? Instead of catching cramps in your index finger trying to hit that refresh button, all of that shit, we can stop and we not have to worry about it. Okay? Unless you have like a girlfriend or somebody that you're really close to, that you can have, working that, pimping that button for you, pimping that refresh button for you. Okay? Other than that, man, don't even worry about it. Okay? All the games that I've seen and talked about so far in this episode, guys, don't even trip. It's not even that big of a deal. Okay? Now, there's games that are coming out that'll wet your lips, like I said before, like Neo, The World Ends With You. That's something that I'll definitely pick up in July. Definitely. And I think I'm going to get it for the Switch, because it's available for the Switch, and I can travel with it. So that's just, one that I think I'm going to go there for. And other than that, man, I mean, Mario Golf, the golf game, I think comes out this month, June. Matter of fact, the end of June. So I'm looking forward to playing that. What else? I mean, that's it, man. I mean, and I have backlog. Like, I'm getting ready to jump back in Ghost of Tsushima, because I missed that game. I definitely miss the online aspects of that game. One of the best online game experiences I've had in a long time, and partially because I am an elite online player when it comes to Ghost of Tsushima. I am a samurai player, and I am an elite. I usually don't boast about my game playing skills, because I'm usually average at all these games. I just love them so much. But this one here, I am a fucking god. Okay, and I think I have some old videos that I'm gonna go through and I might post. But yeah, man, I was that guy that you could drop me anywhere on the map and I would not die. I was saving motherfuckers. I was not dying. Okay. And I was just doing my thug thizzle. I was out here in these digital streets, and I couldn't be stopped. I was not to be trifled with, and I definitely had that warm butter, okay, out on the table. So yeah, I just and I want to play the campaign, but I'm like, ooh, should I wait to play the campaign on the PS5 eventually and get it? And I'm thinking about doing that, but I don't know. I might go back New Game Plus because I haven't done it yet. I was still trying to platinum the game. I think I have a couple more things to get out there, so I don't know. I'm still hung on the fence on that. But the online joint, yes, I'm ready and willing. But yeah, man. I mean, there's all kinds of shit to play that I still haven't done yet, and it's all good. I mean, but still, it's sad that we don't have anything really to look forward to, like in the foreseeable future, as far as a lot of these big AAA games are concerned, man. And this E3 was very, very disappointing. It just was. I mean, I can name a few games that I was looking forward to seeing, but they did not show. And I'm talking about Microsoft right here. I mean, I'm talking about Perfect Dark. I'm talking about a game called Avowed. I'm talking about Hellblade 2. And I'm also definitely talking about Fable. Okay. That's another one I'm looking forward to playing, but the information was very scarce. We didn't get any on this game, and that's why I'm saying, how could you drop the ball on these franchises right here? These are the ones that are gonna, pimp you out in a good way, okay? And you didn't show any of that. You know what I mean? I don't know when the next gaming event is going to be, but E3 was supposed to be the creme de la creme. It's supposed to be the one that got everybody's, beak wet out here in these digital streets. But man, what a fucking letdown. Now, there's still 2 more days. As you guys are listening to this, most of you will be listening to it on Monday. If you're not, if you happen to run into this podcast maybe in the middle of the week, hey, just tune in for next week, and I will be covering the last couple of days, Nintendo, Capcom, and others, and seeing what these guys have to bring to the table. And hopefully we got something better to show for than what we got here in these last few days. But like I said, it just seems dry. It seems really dry out here, guys. And like I said, I mean, if you follow the breadcrumbs, it'll lead you back to what I was saying before. And it's just the way the economy is looking right now. It's just the way that these systems are not out here. I guarantee you, if these systems were in stores now, if the PlayStation 5s and the Xboxes were attainable, easily attainable right now, I guarantee you this shit would be completely different. It would be completely different. We'd see games that we were, waiting for. We'd probably get some gameplay. Everything would be pushed up. But I'm telling you right now, the bosses, the guys in the suits, the ones with the sake glasses filled to the brim, they're the ones saying, you know what, we're going to hold back. We don't want to put out something if we can't capitalize on it 100%. And that's just a smart business moving in. I can't hate them for that, because it is. I mean, it's only wise to do that if you're trying to make money in this business. So you don't want to put out something if you can't capitalize on it, completely. And that's what you'd be doing if you put it out now. So everybody's pulling back the reins, and they're trying to wait and see when these systems are going to get back to where normalcy. Everybody wants to get it back there. And I still don't know when that's going to be. I still don't know how held up we're going to be on these systems, but everybody's telling us that it's still going to be a while. So in other words, the rest of this year, you can pretty much, put a fork in it. You know what I mean? I know holiday season, they're going to try to get some out, some more. But like I said, those scalpers are still out here licking their thumbs, sucking their fingers, rubbing their hands together like Birdman. They're waiting. Okay. And I'm not buying a scalped system, and I am definitely not buying a bundle of any sort, any kind. I'm not paying the $750 for a bundle, none of that bullshit. Okay, I'm getting a standard system. Okay, especially with the Xbox, I don't need a fucking bundle for that. I have Xbox Game Pass already. I just need the system. Okay, and I'm good. Sony, look, there's nothing that I need to buy right now that's making me say I have to have the Sony right now. I just need it in my hands. There's no Final Fantasy. There's no fucking God of War. Okay, so I don't need it. And that's where I'm at. And I'll leave it at that, guys. I think I've said enough. I think I've bitched and moaned enough, and you guys your ears are probably starting to bleed a little bit, or at the very least, maybe a little discharge, starting to ooze out of one of the ears, maybe dark green, light green substance. So I'll stop. I'll stop bitching and moaning and melting your eardrums. But I had to say it. It had to be said. And I'm sorry. This is just where we're at. So hopefully we can take the couple, bright spots out of this and wish upon a star and hope that, it gets better. And I think it will eventually. But right now, it's just, this is where we're at. We have no systems, and it's very scarce out here. And companies have to compensate for that by holding back. I mean, on a lot of these titles, man. That's just what it is. And then on Microsoft's side, they have a lot of new studios, and I know they're working on a lot of projects as we speak. But a lot of this stuff is not going to be ready for a couple years. So just if you're hoping that it'll be sooner, just be patient, and it'll eventually come. And hopefully, I think Microsoft can turn this thing around a little bit, and at least sit on the same level as Sony as far as their first party games are concerned. But we'll see. On that note, I'm gonna get my ass up out of here, guys. It's been a long fucking day combing through this shit that was called E3. I'll be back next week, guys, talking about the last couple of days or the upcoming couple of days, and I'll get into that. Hopefully, it's better than this, and that's it. I want to thank everybody for listening to the podcast. I want to thank everybody for streaming the show. All my listeners who've been down from day one, you know how much I love you guys very much. If you're new to the show, I hope that you guys will come back next week and the week after and so on and so forth, and holler at your boy. So with that being said, I'm out of here, guys. I'll see you guys next week. This is Studio MacGyver, and you have been listening to Studio MacGyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast. See you next time.